As silly as it sounds, there are rumours that David Arquette could return as Dewey in Scream 7, but I'm here to tell you today that's possible. I know that a lot of people talk about Stu Macher coming back. Some people say that Stu Macher's dead, and some people say, well, he could survive what happened at the end of Scream 1. That's fine. But when it comes to characters like Dewey, of course, Dewey died in the middle of Scream 5, and it doesn't seem like there's any coming back from that. But recently, Courtney Cox mentioned that she would like to see David Arquette come back as Dewey Riley. That's one of the reasons why she would potentially say yes to come back for Scream 7. Now, of course, she would come back anyway, regardless if David Arquette comes back or not. But I think it was kind of off the cuff. She was like, I would like to see David Arquette come back. Who knows? Anything can happen. And David Arquette also said as well in an interview that anything can happen. It's a horror movie after all. But then you're like, well, there's no point in bringing Dewey back from the dead because that would be very unrealistic. There's just no way he could have survived what happened in Scream 5. There is a way they could kill two birds with one stone. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't really like Gale Weathers in Scream 6. I liked her in the fight between her and Ghostface, but other than that, she went back to her annoying self that she was in Scream 1. But as a character, she built herself up all the way through the movies to someone that we could consider a hero in the Scream franchise. But when it came to Scream 6, it kind of took it back down a notch, back to the way we thought. We don't really like Gale Weathers. We like her as a character, but we're not really rooting for her because she was an idiot. In Scream 6, it went back to that when she wanted to make money again. And even after the death of Dewey, it just didn't make sense for her character. However, in Scream 7, if we make Gale Weathers remorseful for the things that she'd done in Scream 6, she could maybe think about the things that could have been had she not went back to her old ways. How does Dewey come into this, you might ask? Well, if we look at Gale Weathers as a character, she could be thinking about how things could have went had she not went the way she did, how things could have went if Dewey didn't die. And she could have these semi-dream sequences where she's walking along the road with a modern day Dewey, and you don't have to de-age David Arquette. We could just have him as he would have been had he not died. And she could be having dreams or recurring dreams where her and Dewey are walking along the road. Ghostface attacks Dewey and always kills him, and she just can't quite save Dewey. And that's the way to bring David Arquette back. You don't have to bring him back from the dead. Just give us a what-if scenario within the movie. And that also plays on the fact that Gale Weathers is remorseful. Gale Weathers is thinking, I've done stuff wrong in my past, and it'll make us feel for her again rather than make us feel the way we did, the way she was in Scream 6. Scream 6 for me is by far the worst in the franchise. It is a good movie, but in terms of script, dialogue, character development, it was the worst, especially for Gale Weathers.
I talked to Sydney. She sends her love, but she's taking Mark and the kids someplace safe.
So I think if you try and make her remorseful again, make us love these characters again, remove the characters that we didn't like in Scream 6, but the characters we loved in the original trilogy, if they're coming back, like obviously Sidney Prescott as well, make us love them again. Sidney Prescott wasn't the worst character in Scream 5. She just wasn't really present in Scream 5, and she might as well not have been there. I think she was just there for fan service. So in this one, she's going to be the main character alongside Gale Weathers, I assume. So have those two front and centre. Make us fall in love with those characters again. And that's the way you can bring back Dewey Riley. Not back from the dead, but give us those dream scenarios where Gale Weathers is thinking about what could have been. I think fans of Scream 5 and 6 might enjoy that aspect because I think they do like Dewey as a character because he was one of the favourites in Scream 5, as well as accepting the fact that we see Billy Loomis in a mental dream sequence between him and Sam. So if you can believe that and you enjoyed that on the screen, which I wasn't a massive fan of, then I'm sure the fans of that will enjoy seeing Dewey back. But only this time, it won't be in the real world. It won't be Dewey talking to Gale as she's awake, as she's crazy. It'll be her just dreaming about what could have been. There were other ways that people mentioned that Dewey could come back. It could have been he could have survived. I don't like that idea. And also having a new nightmare type of movie where the characters are no longer the characters. We're watching these characters in the real world now. Gale Weathers isn't Gale Weathers. She is Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, all those characters. And then David Arquette would come back. He wouldn't be Dewey Riley. He would just be David Arquette. I like that idea. I don't think we're quite there with the Scream franchise yet, because I don't think we're finished with the franchise yet in terms of within the movie. It's a cool idea and a cool concept, one that's been done before successfully, but I don't think we should go there quite yet. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? If David Arquette did come back, let's say if he comes back, don't mention in the comment section he's not coming back. He probably isn't.
I'm getting another beer. You want one? Yeah, sure.
But if he did come back, how would you like to see Dewey Riley return in the Scream franchise? As always, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll be right back.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the